Arizona, the Hells Angels have approximately 100 members in that state, and is classified as a criminal street gang by the Arizona Department of Public Safety. The Arizona Hells Angels produce meth, obviously, independently and in conjunction with Mexican drug cartels, and also distribute the drug at retail level. The Hells Angels' predecessor in the state, the Dirty Dozen, voted to merge with the Hells Angels in 1996 and officially patched over during a meeting in Oakland in October of 97. With the merger of the Dirty Dozen, the Hells Angels established 6 Arizona chapters, which are in Phoenix, Mesa, Tucson, Cave Creek, and Flagstaff, as well as a Nomads chapter.
Fantastic.
These guys go wherever they want.
These guys, right? June 2001, Greg Snake Surtican, Chris Porker Bauckham, President and Vice President of Hells Angels Nomads chapter in Arizona, arrested, charged narcotics trafficking. After the DEA uncovered an international drug network involving the smuggling of meth into the United States from South Africa.
Damn.
Wow. The smuggling ring was allegedly established in November 1999. Involved South African Hells Angels members speed mailing meth hidden inside stuffed toys to their American counterparts in Flagstaff, from where it was distributed to other United States. On June 17th, 2002, 2002, Surtican and Bauckham pled guilty to drug trafficking. Surtican was sentenced to 15 years in prison. We don't know what happened to Bauckham.
Well, there was a thing called Operation Black Biscuit, which were the ATF initiated an undercover investigation into the Arizona Hells Angels in September of 2001, when Rudolph Rudy Kramer, a member of the Solo Angeles, a club based in Tijuana, Mexico, with a small presence in Southern California, he agreed to become an informant and infiltrate other motorcycle gangs in exchange for the dismissal of charges against them after he was arrested by ATF agents for weapons violations. The investigation, known as Operation Black Biscuit, resulted in 21-month infiltration of the club by a team of ATF agents, technicians, and confidential informants.
This is ridiculous.
Dude, they like to get their shit infiltrated, don't they?
You ain't kidding. Kramer made contacts throughout the state as a dealer of meth and firearms. Began collaborating with Hells Angels in narcotics and weapons smuggling after fabricating a story that he was arming the Solo Angeles in Mexico to combat a Mongols chapter there. He sought permission from the Hells Angels to form a Solo Angeles Nomads chapter in Arizona, which the ATF used to make contact with Hells Angels. Kramer began introducing ATF agents posing as Solo Angeles bikers to Hells Angels leaders statewide after a meeting with Mesa chapter president Robert Bad Blood Johnson Jr. in July of 2002. Bad Bob. What did I say?
Bad Blood. Damn, dude, they had a whole gang of ATF agents.
Right.
Motherfuckers. The drug-addicted Kramer eventually became a liability to the operation, however, and was returned to prison after the firearm indictment against him was reinstated in September 2002. All you had to do was not be a piece of shit, guy.
Right.
He was sentenced to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty, and he later entered protective custody.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that shit had to come up in, like, the trial and shit. Information on Kramer's role as an informant soon leaked, and Hells Angels leaders in Arizona also began hearing rumors from Southern California that the Solo Angeles were imposters. Oh, no, they're going to take out everybody.
In an effort to ensure credibility, undercover ATF agent Jay Dobbins told the Hells Angels in June of 2003 that he and another Solo Angeles biker would be traveling to Sonora to kill Mongols. The ATF then staged the murder of a Mongols member by photographing and videotaping a law enforcement officer posing as the rival biker, laying in a shallow grave, splattered with lamb blood and brains.
Jeez.
Dobbins had blood-stained Mongols colors mailed to the Hells Angels from Mexico and provided a videotape and pictures of the staged murder. The ruse proved successful. According to Dobbins and the ATF, he was subsequently voted in as a member of the Hells Angels Skull Valley chapter.
Yeah, okay.
Sonny Badger and the Hells Angels have vehemently denied that Dobbins was ever awarded membership.
You just don't vote somebody in.
Right.
We already know how they roll.
Right. You got to go see Sonny.
That, and you got to spend like
Right.
2 years as a prospect and all that shit.
Yeah, get your ass beat and you have to murder and shit. So get the fuck out of here.
Operation Black Biscuit was ended prematurely because the ATF believed Robert Chico Mora, a senior member of the Hells Angels Phoenix chapter, was plotting to murder the Solo Angeles. Mora did not know the Solo Angeles were undercover, clearly.
All right.
But believed they were a potential rival encroaching on the Hells Angels territory.
They were.
He allegedly assembled a group of veteran Hells Angels enforcers to liquidate the Solo Angeles. Operation culminated with a series of synchronized raids carried out across Arizona July 8, 2003, with the arrest of 52 people. 16 Hells Angels members and associates were indicted on charges including RICO Act, murder, and drug trafficking.
Damn.
They bring these crimes upon people. If they were never doing this shit, these people wouldn't have even planned to murder them.
Right.
Fucking idiots. How's that even legal?
They can get away with it. Over 500 illegal weapons, including silencers, pipe bombs, courtesy of CM Punk, sawed-off shotguns and machine guns, along with ammo, $50,000 in cash and drugs were also seized. During one of the raids, a Hells Angels clubhouse in North Phoenix, club prospect Michael Wayne Kofelt Michael Wayne Kofelt was shot and wounded with a rifle by the police officer Laura Beeler.
Of course, it was a woman. Can't hold her fucking finger.
He was charged with the aggravated assault against Beeler, who reported that Kofelt fired first and was cleared of any wrongdoing in shooting by county prosecutors. Man, whatever.
The charges against Kofelt were dismissed in November 2004 when Judge Michael Wilkinson of the Maricopa County Superior Court ruled that the police violated state search and seizure laws during the raid. Investigators determined that Kofelt never fired at Beeler either. Operation Black Biscuit was deemed a success by the ATF, but internal government disagreement ultimately led to the 16 defendants escaping conviction on the key charges of racketeering and murder.
Because you guys fucked up.
Can't be a success then.
You wanted it so bad you're willing to break the rules to get it, and you got caught.
Half of those defendants bargained to lesser offenses, and 5 others had federal charges dismissed.
Damn right they did. They should all been dismissed. The plea agreements resulted in no more than 5-year prison sentences. In 2004, Mora was convicted of the federal charge of possessing body armor with intent to sell and sentenced to 18 months in prison.
A lot of possessed body armor?
I guess not. The conviction was overturned the following year after an appeal. The Skull Valley chapter disbanded as a result of this investigation.
Yeah, they just went somewhere else.
Right.
All right, these guys committed some notable murders. First up is Cynthia Garcia. October 27, 2001, Full Patch Hells Angels members Kevin Augustiniak and Michael Christopher Mesa Mike Kramer and prospective member Paul Merle Eichide. They murdered Cynthia Yvonne Garcia, a 44-year-old mother of 6 who verbally disrespected the club and its members while in an intoxicated state during a party at the Hells Angels clubhouse in Mesa.
Damn it.
After beating Garcia unconscious, the 3 bikers loaded her into the trunk of a car and drove her into the desert near the Salt River, where they stabbed her 27 times and attempted to decapitate her. Jeez.
Why did just bury her out there?
Well, they had to kill her.
Huh?
They had to kill her.
They didn't have to. They could just buried her.
Well, I guess. Still would have killed her.
Garcia's body discovered 31st of October. Kramer contacted ATF agent John Saccone the following month, and without disclosing his crime, offered to become an informant. Really? After moving to Los Angeles and infiltrating the club's San Fernando Valley chapter by posing as an Arizona drug runner, Kramer offered the ATF info on Garcia's killing in exchange for immunity from prosecution.
Wait a minute.
Did he do it? Yeah, he was there.
Kramer, how could he pose as a gun trafficker when he was clearly a part
Right.
of this Hells Angels chapter? Like, they're never going to meet up?
Oh,
Well, that.
that'll make no sense.
Right.
14 months after becoming an informant, he signed a plea agreement to serve 5 years of probation for the murder.
Jeez. I should fled the country following his indictment for the killing in
You
2000.
should.
Yeah. In 2007, it was placed on the U.S. Marshal's 15 most wanted fugitives list. He was apprehended in the San Isidro district of Buenos Aires, Argentina, February 3rd, 2011, after being tracked by the United States Marshals and the Diplomatic Security Service and Interpol. Aishid was extradited to Arizona in July 2018 after exhausting all of his appeals in the Argentine legal system. Augustiniak pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in October 2011 and was sentenced to 23 years and 6 months imprisonment March 30th, 2012.
Wow. Take a look at some conflicts with the Mongols. Joshua William Harbor, member of Hells Angels Chapter Ventura, California, shot in the face.
Damn.
Outside a bar in Cave Creek, 8th of June, 2002. Died later that day at John C. Lincoln Medical Center in Phoenix. Harbor's unidentified killer fled the scene in a car after the shooting. Well, he couldn't have been a biker. He's a car. While Phoenix police detectives investigated several motives for the moida, including the possibility of retaliation by the Mongols for the killing of a Mongol by the Hells Angels at the River Run Riot in Laughlin, Nevada on the 27th of April, 2002. The crime has become a cold case. They'll never find out. They'll never find out.
Cave Creek Angels member chapter president Daniel Leroy Hoover Sabert was shot to death outside a bar in Phoenix March 22nd, 2003.
Damn.
The autopsy report showed that Sabert was shot in the head at close range by a small caliber handgun, which was located during the investigation in Sabert's back pocket. What?
Really?
And he shot him and put it back in his back pocket. The homicide has never been solved, and there have been various theories regarding the reason for Saybert's killing. It has been speculated that he was killed by the Mongols, by the Hells Angels, maybe as part of an internal conflict, or by the ATF in relation to the Operation Black Biscuit. What the hell? ATF's just going out here assassinating people?
Oh, you know what?
Probably more likely the last one, then.
We know the ATF assassinates people.
Oh, right.
Ruby Ridge.
No, they massacre people.
Right.
What do you say, Ruby Ridge, and as if Waco don't exist?
Yeah. Yeah, but they didn't shoot a little boy in the back at Waco.
They also didn't shoot a woman through a doorway either.
Oh, my.
Well, they just burned down a compound with fucking 40-something people in it. But
They say they didn't. 2 days after Saybert's death, Mongols member was stabbed in the back. Wounded. He was literally stabbed in the back.
Right.
And wounded.
Literally, yeah.
Right. At a gas station in Reno by a suspected Hells Angels member in a possible revenge attack. 7 Hells Angels, including the Tucson chapter president, former Mesa chapter president, and other leaders arrested in Arizona. Various charges on December 3rd, 2003. Well, they got to do this shit around Christmas. Think of their kids. They want to see daddy at Christmas time. Right?
no,
No?
right now.
Following a 2-year investigation of the club by the ATF, they decided to arrest him on the 3rd of December 2003. 5 of those who were indicted at the U.S. District Court District of Nevada on federal racketeering and firearm charges stemming from the River Run riot.
The raids in Arizona were carried out as part of a coordinated operation which led to the arrest of at least 55 Hells Angels members and associates in 5 western states by federal, state, local law enforcement agencies. 2 Arizona Angels, Rodney Cox and Kelvin Schaefer, were among 6 Hells Angels members convicted in the case after being extradited to Las Vegas to stand trial.
All right.
Schaefer was sentenced to 4 years and 3 months in federal prison January 12, 2007 for committing a violent crime in the aid of racketeering.
Okay. Well, Cox, he was sentenced 2 years in prison, February 23rd, 2007. Pled guilty to the same charge. Charges were dismissed against 36 others, though.
Jeez.
Patrick Michael Eberhardt, treasurer of the Hells Angels Cave Creek chapter, shot dead. And also a club hanger-on was wounded when a group of 6 Hells Angels were fired upon while driving their motorcycles in Phoenix on the 7th of February in 2015. Earlier that very day, a group of unidentified bikers fired shots at members of the Mongols nearby. A Mongols member is one of 2 suspects in Eberhardt's unsolved murder to this very day.
August 17, 2016, Hells Angels Mesa chapter member Wayne Witt opened fire outside a sports bar in Tempe, killing one Mongols member who was Richard A.Z. Slick Garcia and wounding another before fleeing on his motorcycle.
It's A.Z. Slick. Arizona Slick, right?
Arizona Slick.
All right.
Shooting followed a verbal altercation between the rival bikers inside the bar.
Oh, I bet it did.
3 surviving Mongols, Frank Gardea, John Magana, and Efren Ontiveros, were arrested, although the Tempe Police Department declined to press charges against Witt as the shooting was deemed self-defense.
Oh.
I mean, what are you going to do?
I mean, right. Self-defense, good stuff, right? Let's see what the conflicts with Vagos. How'd that work out for these guys? 5 Hells Angels and 2 members of the Desert Road Riders. A club founded in Bullhead City in 1993 became a Hells Angels support club in 2002. They were arrested on 2nd December 2009. They like arresting people in December by an Arizona Department task force as part of the Operation Quiet Riot. A 6-month investigation into a turf war involving the Hells Angels, Desert Road Riders, and the Vagos in Mojave County. April 11, 2012. 4 Hells Angels members Stephen Helland, Dale Hormet, Rodolfo Martinez, they call him Rudy, and Gerald Smith, they were acquitted of rioting and assisting in a criminal street gang.
Hey.
Another, George Joby Walters, he took a plea deal and was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison.
Those charges stemmed from an alleged riot involving the rival clubs at a bar in Bullhead City, June 11, 2009. Other members of the Hells Angels were allegedly involved in a shootout with Vagos in Chino Valley, August 21st, 2010. Over 50 shots were fired and at least 5 people were wounded, although no life-threatening injuries were reported. After dozens of law enforcement officers arrived at the scene, 27 people were arrested on charges ranging from attempted murder and aggravated assault to participation in a criminal street gang.
Idiots. These guys are so dumb.
Yeah.
Charges against 7 Hells Angels members, John Bernard, Kevin Christensen, Kylie Hill, Robert Kittredge, and Michael Cope, and Larry Scott Jr., and Bruce Schwager.
Oh, Schwager.
They were dismissed in June 2012 after it transpired that Alfred Acevedo, the only direct witness to the confrontation between the gangs immediately before the shooting, was a Vagos hangaround working as an informant for the Arizona Department of Police Systems.
Probably public safety.
Right. He was working for John Morris, Detective John Morris, and who had previously tried to infiltrate the Hells Angels and was rebuked. So he's uncredible.
Let's take a look at some other...
He's incredible. Uncredible.
Incredible. It wouldn't be incredible.
Incredible.
We got some other incidents taking place for the Arizona Hells Angels when one member, Nathaniel Barton Sample, was convicted in 2009 of September of aggravated assault and acting for the benefit of a street gang following an incident at a Scottsdale bar March 28, 2008, in which he and another man, Jose Cano, attacked an unidentified third man who accidentally bumped into them.
Come on.
The case marks the first time that the Hells Angels had been labeled a gang in the state of Arizona. Oh, really?
Wow. Former Tucson Hells Angels chapter president, William Gary Potter, they call him Tramp. He was expelled from the club due to his meth use and also because he was suspected of being a government informant.
Jeez,
you got the
dude.
wrong guy. He was arrested after deputies from Pima County Sheriff's Department found the body of Randall Scott Field
Sure.
buried in his yard on July 13, 2010. Randall Scott was the subject of a missing persons investigation and had been shot twice in the head.
Damn.
Potter, he pled guilty in April 2012 to second-degree murder and 2 counts of possession of a deadly weapon by a prohibited possessor. So he wasn't an informant.
Well, he was already out of the group, so they didn't need him anyway. So,
All right, I guess.
June 4th, 2012, he was sentenced to 19 years in prison.
Damn.
Hells Angels Yavapai County chapter treasurer Bruce Schweigert Sr. was sentenced to 8 years in prison on August 12, 2014 after being convicted of threatening and intimidating as a criminal street gang member, assault, disorderly conduct, and felony misconduct involving weapons charges stemming from an August 2013 bar fight in Cottonwood.